Hello everyone. So I wanted to do an update on my garden because things are growing like crazy. I'm feeling so super blessed that it's just I don't know. I don't know. God is good. Look at the flowers. I have a lot of flowers I'll be showing you. These are zinnia. I have yellow ones. These are called candy stripe. Super pretty. Super pretty. My marshmallow flower plant is now so tall. It's like past my waist. It's like really tall. No flowers yet, but I think they're finally coming. So it'll be fun to see what they look like. I have 4 different types of tomato plants over here. And these are Jet Star. I always have to look. These are Sun Gold. This right here. Sun Gold tomatoes. These are Chef Choice Black. These here. And then these are Lush Tiger. They pretty much all have tomatoes on them. Oh, I'm trying to show you. It's near impossible. But you can see the tomatoes right there. Those are the Blush Tiger. And there's like tomatoes throughout that plant as well as more flowers. Then this one, which is the Chef Choice Black. Look at these. These are my biggest tomatoes so far. Super cool, right? Look at them. And lots more flowers. So they'll turn into tomatoes, hopefully. This one, I think, is my most prolific. This is the Sun Gold. Let me see. Look. Let me see if I can get it. Like, look at those. Look at those. And they're growing. There's more and more and more. Oops, you can't see them. But there's tomatoes throughout that whole plant. And then this over here, the Jet Star, lots of flowers, but I don't quite see tomatoes yet on this one. And that's okay because, you know, once these get ripe, the whole neighborhood's going to end up getting tomatoes. This is my Italian large leaf basil, and I cut them back often, my basil, because every day I make basil tea, both hot and cold tea. So I'm constantly cutting my basil plants. This is a tiny Tim tomato plant. There are so many tomatoes on this little guy, and look at all the flowers. I'm gonna end up with a lot of tomatoes. There's more. Let me see if I can get it on camera to see there's more tomatoes in there. See, it's a little plant, and that's the kind of plant it is. So if you don't have a lot of space, and you know, say you have a little deck or a little balcony, that right there is going to be a lot of food in one little pot. And it won't grow more than like 2 feet tall. So, yep. These tomato plants right here are both the Super Sweet 100s. This particular plant has flowers, but I don't see a tomato yet on it. But this one, which is the same plant, has tomatoes. See the little tomatoes? So those are doing quite well, and they're behind my zinnia. So my zinnia over here, these are just blooming. This one right here is a sunflower, so that's going to be pretty. Another little zinnia. So I have some basil plants there. I have 2 more Jet Star tomato plants there. These two tomato plants over here, these two are, what are they? I have to peek. Chadwick cherry tomatoes. So, oh gosh, these are getting tall. I know they're going to grow super tall, which is fine because, I mean, they can go all the way up. You know, that's fine with me. But there's tomatoes on these plants. Sorry, it's hard to, there's tomatoes there. And flowers all over. Lots of flowers. And let's see, let me back up so you can just kind of get the whole feel for this right here. So tomato plants over here, tomato and basil back there, more tomato plants, zinnia, and a sunflower. And this is basil. This is lemon basil, and it looks very, very, very different than the other basils. Very different. Yep, and I cut that as well. These two plants right here are cucumber plants, and they're getting tall as well, growing up the trellis. And there's a lot of, so these are alpha, B-E-I-T, alpha cucumbers, and they don't need to be pollinated, and they are resistant to cucumber beetles, and I believe that that is true. I have seen a couple cucumber beetles on them, but it's not like they're infested by any means, so not like I had them last year. But I do have a lot of cucumbers. You can see a little cucumber right there growing. I mean, there's a whole bunch on here. I just, yeah, some of these flowers are just gonna fall off. Other ones, here's another little cucumber right there. So they're doing really, really well, and they get almost no sun over here, and they are growing beautifully. So those, I'll back up so you can see, are on the side of my steps. Yep, they're doing really, really well. Now I'm going to switch to over here. All right, so these, my flowers are really just starting to bloom. I did cut a few yesterday, but these over here, I don't know what they are, but there's a lot of buds. This is what the flower looks like. It almost looks like a marigold, doesn't it? But there's lots of buds you can see up top there. That particular plant attracts bugs, pests. So I've been dealing with Japanese beetles, and now the lantern flies have returned, and they're not fully grown yet, but oh my gosh, between the Japanese beetles, and I don't know, I've killed probably 20, 25 in total. When I see them on a plant, I take off my sandals and I kill it. I smush it. But now with the spotted lantern flies, oh man, they jump so quickly that, let me see if I can get this flower, this zinnia. That's a zinnia. I'm holding the iPad way up in the air to show you. I think that these are alyssum. I think they are. These are all sunflower plants right here. Two different kinds. There's a little dwarf kind and then the tall kind. This over here is more zinnia. Lots of buds. So the flowers are coming. So like I wanted to kind of show you guys, like, before everything just goes crazy and blooms. It just, you know, I wanted to show you before that happens. But like as I stand here and I go back to the cucumber plants, like look at all the yellow flowers. Very healthy. Thank goodness. Thank God. Oh my gosh. So here I have, these two are my poppy plants, and they're finally taking off. finally. And I have a couple of basil plants here that I put there because I had nowhere else to put them. And just like as a place to hold them. And they're really growing quite well. I'm going to have to move them from there at some point. But those are also basil plants right there. Those are holy basil or Tulsi basil. Over here these are dahlias plus a couple of sunflowers. You know, and everybody, well, I don't know everybody, but people think that sunflowers all grow super tall. And they don't. There's so many different kinds. There's a lot of dwarf kinds of sunflowers. Oh, so let me show you something that's new. So we put up the second raised bed. And I have to go get more soil for it. But so far I have some branches and leaves that I saved from last year's cleanup. And I have 1 bag of soil on it, so I have to go get more. It needs 3 or 4 more bags, and I'm going to plant lettuce in there, and maybe I'll move those basils over there. But in here, so there's more zinnia that are blooming, and look at the beautiful sunflower. And it's the kind of sunflower that has, oops, I'm sorry, I'm stepping on my hose. It's the kind, oh, look at the little bee. Little bee in there. How cute. How cute. So super pretty. But it's the kind of sunflower that has, it's a double-headed one. So there's another one coming out right there, and it's pretty much right on the behind that one. So it's really cool. I mean, there's so many different kinds of sunflowers, all different kinds of shades and, you know, oranges and yellows, and quite beautiful. Just a pretty little flower. Now in here, everything's growing really, really, really well. So I have a lot of string beans, so plants that look like that. Those are all string beans, and they're growing. I have some flowers. That's a Tiny Tim tomato plant, and so is that one. I had another one. Oh, there's a lanternfly. That's what they look like at this point in their life cycle. They are fast. And yeah, they grow up into these big, almost like moth-looking, gray and red flying things. And they came from China, India, and was it one of the Vietnams? But anyway, they came from there, and the first place that they appeared here in the United States was in Bucks County, Pennsylvania. And they've spread all the way up to Maine, and they're headed down. I live in Jersey, and they're headed down. I believe they're in, I don't know if they're in Maryland yet, but yeah. So everybody's like, kill it, kill it, kill it. So I mean, I can't smush those like I can the Japanese beetles, because these things fly. They're just gone. They almost like hop. Ugh, they're something. So this Tiny Tim tomato plant is just starting to get some flowers. This one has a bunch of flowers, so that will be, those are the ones that will grow no more than like 2 feet tall. And then I have sun gold tomato plant over here because I had an extra plant I had to put somewhere, so I put it in here, and you can see the tomatoes in there. Lots of flowers. My rosemary I'm giving up on. More basil. And then over here, so these are my cucumber trellises over here that my son made. I do have, I'm going to kind of go over here a little bit. This is some more zinnia and more sunflowers. So once all those sunflowers and all these flowers actually bloom, oh my gosh. So this little So these cucumbers here, there's two, are called Suyo Long, Suyo Long. And I did something to them. I know it was me. And so they're a little bit behind, especially this one over here. These are the same plants I planted the same time. And that one is only that tall, but it's growing. And this one goes all the way up. So very different. Lots of cucumbers. And these cucumbers, you can see one right there, they grow up to 16 inches long. So you don't have to, where is it? There's another one. I mean, there's quite a few cucumbers on here. And again, these do not need to be pollinated, and they are low as far as they're resistant as far as the cucumber beetles go. And it's true. There are a few, and I try to kill them when I can. But yep, so more zinnia. Like, look how pretty this one is. Is that not gorgeous? Oh, I didn't show you the pink one over here. Let me take you over here again for a second. I meant to go in here and show you. Look at how gorgeous this one is. Isn't that beautiful? Just beautiful. I have my hose out. I was just watering. So yeah, so cucumbers are doing well. Flowers are doing well. I moved parsley over here, and it's going well. I harvested a bunch of it yesterday. And for the first time, I have purple opal basil that's actually growing. I've tried it elsewhere a few times and it never germinated, but it's germinated in there, so I'm super happy about that, because then I'll have, I don't know, 5 different kinds of basil, 6, I don't even know at this point. So this pot over here, again, I have sunflowers that are growing quite well, and more zinnia. So I'm definitely gonna grow the zinnia again and get the sunflower. So there's a Callie Kim, Calikim, from California. She's here on YouTube, and she sells seeds. And I got these, all of the sunflower seeds from her. She has packets of seeds. And I'm going to get them again because they're all growing. They're very, very, very healthy and everything. But over here, I think, I don't know. I thought these were zinnia, but now I'm not so sure that they are. I don't know what they are, these right here, but I guess we'll see. One is starting to bloom. I have more basil. I have alyssum that is actually starting to flower. And then I planted 2 more of those Suyo Long cucumbers. I just did it. I just planted them a few days ago. And I see one popping through there. Another one should be popping through somewhere around there, because I wasn't sure if, like, how well these were going to do, especially this one that's so stunted. But like I said, it is growing. I mean, it is healthy. I took off all the leaves that I ruined because I sprayed something on them. I guess I shouldn't have. And yeah. So then when I go around here, these are my onions. They look healthy. They look super healthy, but they have a while to go. Carrots, carrots, carrots. These are my calendula, which I think have become my favorite flower. I just love them. I mean, they've been blooming for quite a while now, and you can still see there's new blooms. I do cut them They last a long time in a vase in the house, and they are medicinal. So when I go to see my mother this weekend, I'm gonna cut some of these and bring them to her. But I've been harvesting the seeds, so next year I won't have to purchase any seeds. But I just love them. I love the colors. I love that they last long, that they bloom long. I like the foliage. It's just pretty. And here is my oh, how would I say this? I have a love-hate relationship with the bachelor button plant. The flowers certainly are cute. They definitely grow. I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to find one that I can show you up close. I mean, they're certainly very pretty, right? They're very pretty, but yeah. So that's it. Like I said, I just watered everything, so you see the water going down the driveway. And that's a shade cloth because the cucumbers, like once it hits about 85 degrees, I put this shade, excuse me, the shade cloth down, and I hold it on with big clips, like office clips, and it protects the, ooh, there's a big black something flying around. And yeah, so they'll keep my cucumbers from really drooping terribly in the hot weather. So my son has not been able to weed whack for over 2 weeks. And the reason being is that we have yellow jackets, and they're in the frame of my garage door. I'll take you over there. I've had the pest company out here twice. They were here again yesterday. I mean, yellow jackets are very dangerous. You know, and some people call them wasps. They are a wasp. I have now learned this. To me, a wasp is brown, but yellow jackets are not a bee. To me, they're a bee, but apparently they're not a bee. They're a wasp. I thought a wasp was a bee. And, but yeah, so let me take you around here. This right here, you can see where that white is right there. That is the spray. So the bees have a house, a nest, somewhere either up there or in the ground, like under the driveway or whatever. So they were here again yesterday, and I saw one bee go in there this morning, and he didn't come out, or at least I didn't see him come out. So hopefully it worked this time, because like my son has, well, his car that he works on is in this side of the garage, plus the riding lawnmower. And yeah, you can't do things out here. Even like the table that I work on is right here, and they're right there. So when they were going in and out like a lot, oh my gosh, it's dangerous. If you disturbed them, they would come after you and sting you and sting. And they don't sting just once. They sting and sting and sting and sting. Yeah. So anyway, so my yard, it's mowed, but like all of this that should be weed whacked, he's not weed whacking, and I don't want him to weed whack because how close it is to the bees. But now maybe they're gone, I'm hoping. But anyway, so that's the scoop on my bees. And yep, so that's it. That's where we are at. So let me know if you have any questions, and let me know how your garden is going. Yeah, let me know. Fun stuff. All right, thank you so much for being here and for watching. God bless. Bye-bye.